King County Sheriff's Office in Seattle, Washington as a forensic photographer. I photograph evidence, I photograph crime scenes, I photograph public relations type work. In the course of my day, I could go to the hospital and photograph an injured child. I could go to a crime scene, it could be a homicide, any number of things. I might fly in a helicopter and do aerial work. It also affords the opportunities to photograph celebrities occasionally. I have photographed Nelson Mandela and Al Gore. You just never know what's going to happen in the course of a day. I work with a highly trained professional staff. My staff is like a well-oiled machine. We're a team. Even the clerical person, we know where each and everything in the lab is at any given moment. We know where we need to be, how we need to get there, and what we need to do. I work with medical examiners, I work with detectives, investigative personnel, occasionally a forensic nurse, prosecutors. I do have to testify in court. I've actually worked with even scientists from the University of Washington. Film or digital? Well, they both have their applications. They both have places where they both shine. Digital is instant gratification. You can send it across the internet. You can manipulate. Well, you don't want to manipulate in my field, but you can enhance the information much easier. Personally, I prefer film. Film has still a lot of latitude, and it's just got an analog feel I really like. Speaking of film cameras, this here is one of my favorite film cameras. This is a twin lens Rolleiflex, made in Germany in 1960. It's got a taking lens and a viewing lens. You look through the top. They would have used these kinds of cameras maybe into the mid-70s. Crime scene photography is in a field of photography where we advance very quickly. It's just a beautiful camera. I even have a name for this one. I call it Emma. I'm not totally against digital photography. Don't get me wrong. Something like this is a little Leica Deluxe 4. It's truly amazing. The other night I was photographing crystals through a vintage microscope, just holding it on top. I mean, it's amazing. It's got more computer power than the Apollo spaceships had. Forensic photography is a discipline that requires you to always be on your toes. You've got to think constantly. You've got to document exactly what you see. You need to know your tools and equipment. You go nowhere without rubber gloves. Nice if the tripod had rubber gloves. Another important thing is a light meter. Even with all the fancy digital equipment we have today, I would go nowhere without a light meter. It's just a backup to let you know that everything's working right. You only get one chance. The other important thing is scales. This one here is called an ABF scale. Scales are important. Another very important tool in my trade is the tripod. You need a sturdy base to work from. Well, there's a lot of sadness in my job, and there's a lot of emotional toil. I do provide a significant resource to society. I wouldn't say I particularly enjoy it. Pay's good. I'll never win a Pulitzer, but I do get a pension. And it's darn cute. Quit laughing at me.